Hi guys, it's me, HeidiMaetrix. I'm going to do a Q and A. So excited. I've never done one before, so it's probably going to be like me just awkwardly rambling. So please bear with me. I'm going to try and get to as many questions as possible, but I think there's like 200, so I cannot guarantee I will get to them all, but I will try my best. You ready? Let's do it. Going Crazy asked, how long have you guys been cosplaying? How do you decide what characters to portray? BTW, love your account. Thank you so much. It's a very good question. So we've been cosplaying, I guess, officially since we made a Walking Dead music video parody to a Katy Perry song called This Is How We Do. We love The Walking Dead. We've always loved The Walking Dead. So when we made the music video, we wanted to get the costumes as close to life as possible. And in the process of doing so, discovered through a friend of mine that there's actually this thing called cosplay, where you dress up as multiple characters and you can portray them and go to conventions, and this entire community that we never knew existed. So the start of cosplay for us was This Is How We Do, the Katy Perry Walking Dead music video that we made. And that was about 2 years ago, officially. Next question. Miss Harley and Quinn asked, how long does it take you to get into your Harley cosplay? Very good question. When I first started, it took me about 3 to 4 hours. Since I've been cosplaying as Harley for a while now, it takes me about 2. The most difficult thing though is the wig. The wig. And I know a lot of you have asked me about this. My wig is a full lace human hair wig that I have to glue to my scalp, like glue it, and it still sometimes doesn't even want to stay. Like throughout the day, the little pieces will be like it's right around my ears because the pigtails, I try to get them as tight as hers are in the film, so it puts a lot of pressure on the seam right here. So like throughout the day, sometimes the little like earpieces will be like I get these little like Harley wigs. It's terrible, but the wig takes a long amount of time. The one thing I discovered that works about 90% of the time is wig tape, like lace wig tape, paired with lace wig glue. So I put the lace wig tape on the inside of the wig, and then I put the lace wig glue on my scalp, and then I put the tape to the glue and I push it there for like 5 minutes. And that usually works pretty well. It's not 100% all the time. I've tried everything. That's the best thing I found so far, so there you go for that. Canadian 007 asked, what would it be like if Harley Quinn meets James Bond? And what would it be like if there's a crossover between James Bond and the Suicide Squad? And also, who's your favorite James Bond actor if you have seen any Bond series? Okay, if Harley Quinn met James Bond, it would be probably interesting, to say the least, because he is very much like by the book. He's like a by the book bad boy, and Harley Quinn is like no book, like naughty bad girl, like crazy and fun. So I feel like if they had, like, if it was like a buddy movie, I feel like if they teamed up, Harley Quinn would give him so much crap. But it'd be really, really interesting to watch. I have seen all the James Bond films. I think my favorite one is probably Pierce Brosnan or the blonde-haired dude whose name currently escapes me. Those are my 2 favorites. Neeler asked, will you ever come to Germany? Good question, Neeler. Actually, there are plans in the works right now for myself, Lil Shooty, and Apros of David to come to Germany next year, and we plan on, fingers crossed, we plan on spending the entire month of August in Germany to celebrate both of our birthdays. At Lil Shooty and I, our birthdays are in August. So I've been to the UK, but neither my brother or sister have, so they're super pumped about it. I mean, it's a fingers crossed thing, but if all goes well, we will be in Germany for the entire month of August next year. Okay, next question. Ragram, I don't know how to pronounce it, I'm sorry. Ra something said, is Miranda really your sister and is Joseph really your brother? Great question. The answer is yes, 100%. They are both my real brother and sister. We actually all live together too, which is why we like crash each other's Snapchats and Instagram stuff all the time. So we live together, we work together, and we cosplay together. And I'm incredibly, incredibly lucky to have such a wonderfully supportive siblings. They're awesome. They're so much fun to be around. And I mean, when we're like all cosplaying and just hanging out, like we get really like crazy. I mean, but you've seen it, right? Like you've seen all my Snapchat like videos and stuff. So to answer your question, yes, Joseph and Miranda are really my siblings, 100%. And we all live together, work together, and cosplay together. Next question. Megpool88 asked, I'm not very good at cosplaying, but I'm planning to cosplay sometime next year. Any advice? Why, yes, Megpool88, I do have some advice for you. Something that I did when I started working on my Harley Quinn, I started when the first set photos were leaked. So way back before a trailer, any of that stuff ever came out. I suggest finding one cosplay that you want to do and then start working on it now, like finding the little pieces, because the time and the details make all the difference. Like all the tiny details make a huge difference when you're wearing the cosplay. So choose a character that you really want to do, but also choose one that's within your skill set. So Harley Quinn didn't require a lot of foam crafting or anything that was beyond my level. It was just the time spent to, you know, find the pieces. I also highly recommend going to thrift stores and flea markets and vintage shops to find the building blocks for the cosplay. Like my Harley Quinn shirt was a girl's Gap shirt, long sleeve Gap shirt that was like size 8, I want to say. And then I was able to cut it up more and I painted and drew the words on and all that stuff. But it cost so much less because I did it that way. And you can find a lot of really, really fantastic things at thrift stores, like leather coats and so on and so forth, for way less money than you would pay retail. And for me in cosplay, that's something that I've always really believed in, is repurposing old things that aren't being used anymore into cosplays and sort of giving them like a new life. Okay, so that's the answer. Pretty Lipsy Co asked, what's your favorite color? My favorite color is blue. It's always been blue, but if I had to choose like my favorite color of my favorite color, like my favorite shade of my favorite color, it would be that light color blue that the sky turns on a summer afternoon, where it's sort of like luminescent and is so, so, so pretty. That's my favorite shade of blue in the blue spectrum. But blue is my favorite color. Pretty Lipsico also asked, what's your favorite Harley Quinn scene from Suicide Squad? That's a very, very good question. It's such a simple scene, but I really like whenever she's in the elevator and the Joker is texting her, because I don't know, I feel like I can relate to that so much. Like when the guy that I like is texting me and I'm just like like that little smile that you get, you know, when the guy that you're crushing on or you're in love with is texting you, is like awesome. And so just that one tiny little detail made me so happy to see it, because I don't know, I could relate to that. Someone asked, are you a couple, you and Joseph? No, Make It Blue 0304. We are brother and sister, not a couple. Someone asked, did you buy Harley's gun or did you do it yourself? So Harley's gun was actually a gift to me from the Eternal Armory, which is in Missouri. It was so sweet of them to make it for me, and they gave it to me as a surprise, which was just awesome. But it was 3D printed and then hand painted for me. It was very, very sweet of them to do. Insanity Boy asked, what's your guilty pleasure? It's a good question. So there's like the songs, you know, I guess I have a couple guilty pleasures. One would be Backstreet Boy songs, because I don't know, they're so much fun, and what's the name of that song? It's like, am I original? Yeah, am I the only one? I'm not actually trying to sing it good, but yeah, am I sexual? Yeah. This just, I don't know, it gets me every time. I'm like rocking out to it, I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So that's definitely simply a very embarrassing fact about myself, that I like little Backstreet Boys songs. Strange Fiddlebotomy asked, what is the genre of music that you listen to? It's actually a very, very good question. I have a Spotify account, and if you guys would like, I can actually share a playlist with you of all the music that I listen to. It's very weird. I like a very varying I like a wide variety of music. Most of it is indie music, but like off the charts kind of stuff that I really like jam out to all the time. So there you go. So Harley Psychopath Quinn asked, would you rather have 1 kid or 2 kids? Answer, I would rather have 2 kids, because if you only have 1 kid, like, I feel like they would get a bit lonesome. And I have 5 siblings, by the way, not just Joseph and Miranda. I have 3 other siblings as well. And we always like played outside together. There was always someone to hang out with. But if you only have 1 kid, then I feel like they're gonna be like a bit lonely. And I know I had a ton of fun playing with my siblings, so 2 kids. So they always have a friend. Infamous Harley.Quinn said, what do you love more, pizza or a hamburger? That's rough. I love pizza. Like, I love pizza. I love pizza. But I also love you know what? I do love hamburgers, but if I had to eat one over the other, if I had to choose, pizza. Pizza for the win. Every time. Audrey K. Millap asked, which is your favorite cosplay and why? To answer that, it would have to be Harley Quinn or Jessie from Team Rocket. I really like Jessie because I don't see her portrayed a lot. And when I created Jessie, I wanted to incorporate leather and sort of grown-up elements, like if Team Rocket was in real life, like what would they be wearing? So I love just being Jessie because she's just so mischievous and she wears like all these silly disguises. So she's one of my favorites. What do you like to do in your free time? Do you like anime? So to answer your question, in my free time, I like to draw. Like those little monsters that you guys see on my Instagram stories. I draw them a lot, and typically they have like whiskey or something like that in their hands. It's what they like. Yes, I love anime. I actually love anime so much. Anime genre that I like is like horror mystery anime. So my favorite animes are Attack on Titan, Another, Future Diary, Ajin, which I only have 1 episode of Ajin left, which I'm gonna watch later tonight. So, but if you guys, honestly, if you know of any animes like Another, Attack on Titan, Ajin, The Future Diary, anything like that, please let me know. I love like brutal anime shows. It's just so much fun to me. And I always watch them in Japanese with English subtitles because I don't know, I want to experience them how they're meant to be experienced with the original voice actors. Joker's little girl asked, what did you think of Suicide Squad besides the characters? I mean the movie as a whole, because it has been criticized so much. To Joker's little girl, I enjoyed Suicide Squad as a film. To be honest, I did want to see a lot more than what I did see. In the comics, Joker and Harley's relationship is so much more complex than they portrayed it in the film. And in the film, they show that Joker just sort of abandons Harley in the river so that she drowned. And I know personally, as a woman, if the guy that I loved abandoned me to drown, I would be a little bit mad. I would be straight up mad. I would still love him, you know, but I would be like, oh, I want to kill you, but I still love you, but I want to kill you. Like, and I didn't see that in the film. There wasn't that like emotional feeling that the emotional response that I really felt like Harley would have, having been abandoned by the one guy that she fell in love with and literally changed her entire life for. Going into the movie, when I saw from the trailers that was going to feature predominantly, that was something I was very excited to see, was a woman's like response to that kind of thing. And then when I didn't see it, I did feel a bit let down. And I wanted to see more of the Joker too. I wanted to see that back and forth and that push and pull and the complexity of, you know, 2 psychopaths being in love. And I have to admit, like, I was a bit disappointed with the fantasy that Enchantress inspired in all of them, like the things that they wanted, because I felt like Harley Quinn to go completely psycho, it didn't make sense to me that her fantasy was as like a 1950s housewife. Like, I would have loved to have seen her fantasy be like her and Joker on a throne, on a pile of bodies, you know, with Batman down at the bottom and like blood like dripping down. Like, I feel like that would have fit the characters, and the fact that she, in her love for the Joker, completely embraced her, you know, psychosis and that like crazy side of her. And I felt like her fantasy was just so tame in comparison to what her character had developed into and, you know, what her character is portrayed as in the comics. So I enjoyed the film overall, but I wanted to see a lot more than I did see. Come on, clicker, just, So the Coxman asked, if you had to choose between being a Jedi or a wizard, what would you choose? Ooh, that's rough. I'd probably choose wizard because I don't like the fact that Jedis have to not feel any emotions, and that'd actually be basically impossible for me because I'm a very enthusiastic, emotional person. Like, not always like, I mean, sometimes, yeah, sometimes, yes. But I'm very, I don't know, I'm very expressive with how I feel, and I feel like the Jedi Council would just be like, you suck as a Jedi because you smile too much and you giggle like a giggler. So they'd probably kick me out anyways, so to be honest, I probably wouldn't make it as a Jedi. So then I'd have to choose wizard. So that's the answer. Flipman107 asked, would you rather fight 50 duck-sized horses or 1 horse-sized duck? That was a very good question. I don't think I've ever been asked that before. I think I would rather, oh, that's rough. See, okay, so that's very hard to choose because it would be hilarious to fight 50 duck-sized horses because you could, like, you know, the fight would get so messy. You know what? Okay, I would rather fight 1 horse-sized duck because a giant duck is awesome and also would remind me of Psyduck from Pokemon. So 1 horse-sized duck is what I would like to fight epically, like in a pond somewhere, maybe with like water, like giant water lilies to really set the stage. There's some fog, there's like, you know, vibes going on. Okay guys, so that'll be it for our Q&A. So sorry for all the questions I couldn't get to. I tried to do as much as possible without making like a 1 hour long video. If you enjoyed it, like comment below, let me know, and maybe we'll do this again sometime. All right, bye. Thanks for watching.